Minister Sri Saurabhai Patel, Honorable Minister Sri Ramanbhai Vora, Chief Secretary Sri Varesh Sinha, Urjit Patel, UK Sinha, Chairman Dr. Hasmukh Bhai, dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the people of Gujarat and also on my personal behalf, I welcome you all to this seminar. The macroeconomic sentiments are regaining buoyancy. India's goodwill in the global economy is becoming stronger each day. Sensex is bringing smiles on the million faces. What could be better time than this to discuss financing for economic growth? And which could be a better place than Gujarat to do this? I am happy that we are meeting under the banner of Vibrant Gujarat. Vibrant Gujarat has transformed from an investment promotion summit to a knowledge sharing platform. I am pleased that as a part of Vibrant Gujarat, experts are going to deliberate on discuss on issues impacting not just Gujarat but India and even beyond. Friends, Gujarat is known as the growth engine of India. It has a share of 24% in exports from India, 17% in India's manufacturing sector, and 11% in primary sector output. But more important is the fact that the growth has been translated into inclusive development. We not only contribute a major share in manufacturing sector, we also create jobs. We not only create jobs, we create them both in urban and rural areas. We create jobs both for men and women, and we empower them with hard and soft skills to match the need. We do not just produce power, we also ensure that the common man in a remote village gets 24/7 uninterrupted power. We do not just promote IT-enabled services, we use them for last mile delivery. You may be interested to know how we optimize the resources for all this. I will put it in this way. We create new resources. We unearth latent resources and nurture them, and we manage the existing resources prudently. Let me give you a few examples. We have increased our tax receipts by rationalizing the tax structure. We minimize the tax burden and maximize simplification. For example, stamp duty on reduced from 14.8% to 40.9%, and complex stamp duty structure of 27 different rates was simplified to 9. We deployed e-services and robust legal reforms to facilitate its future. In this way, while the rates of taxes and duties have decreased, the recoveries have increased. Further, Gujarat has been able to leverage on private finance to multiply state investment by using the PPP mode effectively. We took the PPP route not just for infrastructure but also for developmental sectors. We introduced PPP even for institutional delivery in our Chiranjeevi scheme and for emergency medical services under 108. Another resources that we nurture is the human resource, our people. We harness the human resource by adopting the approach of Jan Bhagidari, that is people's participation. Programs and policies are structured to reach out the people and make them partners in the process of progress. Macro movements are built around small individual efforts. Involve the community in a big way in school enrollment drive, providing milk to poor malnourished children, creating thousands of water harvesting structures. We have recently started a toilet building drive on the same model. Moreover, through strategic statewide planning, available resources have been intelligently deployed. Bifurcation of electricity feeders under Jyotigram is the best example of this. It has led not only to a rural revolution but also decreased the burden on the urban areas. Statewide water and gas grids are other examples of using resources strategically. Convergence has been emphasized in public delivery mechanisms for avoiding duplication and better delivery. To give you just one example out of many, we distribute all benefits of various state schemes directly to the people under an umbrella initiative called Garib Kalyan Mela, meaning fairs for welfare of poor. This is complemented by a strategy of undertaking focus campaigns instead of piecemeal and scattered efforts and with monitorable outcomes. We have recently launched Gatishil Gujarat, wherein we have put 48 developmental activities on a mission mode approach. The outcome so far has been very encouraging. Friends, unless the fruits of economic growth reach to the poorest of the poor of our country, growth will be more of a burden for the society than an asset. I therefore urge to all of you to discuss during this seminar how best we can make that happen. How can our resources be channelized for the poor? What best can we do to empower the women, the small farmers, the rural enterprise? What policy initiatives, what mechanisms can ensure this? How can we improve the quality of their lives? I am sure the experts here will come out with some out-of-the-box ideas on these lines. I wish all the best to this event. Thank you very much.